versus a Terrorblade and Enchantress.
That's the other thing that I wasn't crazy about, you know? Like, I think, for example, if Piggy Killer had shown a melee mid lane, I would have been all for a Sand King going mid and keeping this DP in the side lanes, having the Earth Spirit as the 4, right? That would have made a lot more sense to me. So I think maybe, once again, just the order of this very last phase might give them a little bit of an issue. Well, you have to wonder. He's looking to place down this Sentry Ward on the camp on the bottom side, is Fish King, but that's going to be, I believe, a little bit short of being able to clip onto that Observe Ward on the high ground. The Remnant doesn't give any vision at all still, right? If you place it down without the Shard, I want to say, right?
No.
See you later, TZ White.
Uh-oh.
And they're even going to get the D-Ward at the same time.
Oh, boy. Well, another first blood for the lads on Piggy Killer.
To Fly, the one that's going to be the biggest issue for them this game.
The battle begins.
He's even making that rotation to make sure that they get the bounty rune as well. Realizing that they've... I mean, look at how much vision this Cliff Ward gives. It's crazy. You know, you get a full understanding of that bottom side of the map. And, I mean, they would have seen... If he walked up the stairs, you've got complete vision. If he walks to the right side, you've got complete vision. They had just walked up the left stairs towards the bounty rune, so they knew he wasn't coming from that direction. It's kind of crazy how much information this gives, and, well, that's twice now that they've placed it in the exact same spot, I believe. So they're not even going to be able to contest this, and outside, he's just trying to keep Fish King away as much as possible. They will get off this D-Ward, though, so that's nice. It's going to mean that Fish King needs to come into the bottom lane, though, to be able, into that camp, though, to body block it, and outside's just doing his best to try and pressure him away.
It looks like they've changed the Sandstorm particles. Sorry, next time you use it, I'll try and bring it up again, but... Because before, it seemed like a little bit more difficult to tell whether the Sandstorm, like, where the very, very outskirt of it was, but...
It's much more obvious now.
Yeah. I like that, What do we think about the build that we're going to get out of XM as the position 5 Veno enjoyer like you are? I know it's a bit different to the 2, but regardless, we can use your knowledge here on the hero. What are we expecting or hoping out of XM?
I think he just needs to set up a bit of a wall, right? He's going to be responding to wherever DP is looking to make rotations to use that exorcism, because they've got pretty weak tower taking potential outside of this DP. And Plague Wards is a great tool to be able to use to be able to prevent that. Like 2 points in the Venomous Scale feels kind of nice as well for the lane, just because you're tripling the damage over time that you're doing. But and also it kind of dissuades Butterfly Effect from running at you with the Spirit Siphons as well, right? So he's just going to be launching that one out whenever possible. Of course, you get separate instances of the Poison Sting depending on if it's the Veno that applies it or the Plague Ward, so you can double that one up. I wonder if he's going to prioritize going into the Poison Sting slow, the health regen reduction as well, coming through from this.
Can explain the interaction with the Plague Ward again? Is it the extra slow? Because I know didn't they change that a while ago?
Don't think
or something
so.
So what is it now still? Okay.
You get separate instances of Poison Sting depending on if you apply it directly or with a Plague Ward.
Okay.
So it's like double the value. Got to make sure your micro is on point. Because those Plague Wards will just hit whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, they're things without a real brain. Of course, all the brainless people like to enjoy playing that hero.
I was about to compliment you, but all right.
What were we gonna say? Just show
I was about to say not like you.
Oh, okay. Oh, so kind. Hey, whoa. Oh, whoa, hang on, Jumi. All right, I was kind of laughing with that blood grenade usage. I don't even know if it actually clipped on him anyway. Bottom lane, Sand King is also going to go down as well. So once again, Piggy Killer off to a fine start.
I don't know if it works on the Wraith King skeletons or not, but I wonder if Little Friends works in combination with that from the Enchantress. Because they're not creeps exactly. All creeps, ally, enemy, and neutral within a radius. I mean, I guess they're kind of creeps. We'll have to wait and see. Summer, kind of like what we were expecting, is going to go into the armlet. Pretty standard build for a Wraith King to start off with, but again, it feels like they've given him the reins to be able to prove himself this time around. Because again, didn't have a game. They used 3 specific bans to make sure he was going to have a decent time, but even the Venom, honestly, is going to make his life a little bit more challenging. It doesn't feel like he can look to join these fights until... Is Fish King about to die? Ooh, just gets away. Until he's got that Blink Dagger.
Was this a Sand King, sorry, with the blink?
No, the Summer. Like, what can he do until he's got Blink?
Okay, yeah.
Venom's just going to set up wards. You're going to get slowed by the enchant. You're going to set up the brambles. So it's about finding that quick pick off the back of a big crit from the Mortal Strike. Once you've got that armlet activated, it'd be like level 10, I don't know. But it's going to take a while. And you're going to have difficulty taking towers until that point.
Yeah. It does seem like this mid lane, it started off a little bit rough for Butterfly Effect, but with the 3 points in the Crypt Swarm, he's been able to shove the Venom out of the lane. So XM is going to go back to base and get a refill. And he's, I wonder if
he knows he's not going to get any value out of the Spirit Siphon in this lane. Venom's going to win out on that exchange every single time.
Oh, it's actually bottom first, and there we go, back to top. Ava gonna be in some trouble. Jumi was able to set up for the roll. XM's gonna try and help and protect him. The Gale clips onto 2. Frisk is gonna be able to connect as well. So they'll get that wall. The deny from Jumi. Still the Curse Cry connects onto both.
Deny
so even though Jumi made a hell of a play, he's gonna make his Wraith King get stunned up, and now they're gonna dive under the tower as well. Frisk, he'll take off the Nightmare because the Gale is still there for XM to work with. I don't think he's going to take out unless the Bramble connects. Oh, well done.
Very well done as well. Frisk might even give him a quick last hit here with the Flag Bearer creep. That'll be enough to be able to get him into the Arcane Boots as well. So he doesn't even need to go all the way back to base. Can just look to continue to stick up here on the top side. And they're giving him a good amount of experience too. I mean, this is the advantage of playing with these heroes that have the capability of A, roaming, but B, also going into that jungle. Mid lane, they are putting a bit of pressure onto this mid tower, but again, the question for me is always going to be, how much value does this mid tower still have these days? Maybe a 6-minute one feels quite nice to be able to protect from any like bounty rune contest, but still decent.
XM? Fish King's looking for an angle for the roll. Regardless, they're going to be able to bring it down though, so Piggy Killer bring a lot of heroes to try and contest it and keep it standing. They won't be able to. But that mid tower, surely it's still going to be important though, right? It's across, like you need to run through mid to get the top and get to bottom. Like,
do you?
Well, not always, but a lot of the time, yeah.
Twin gates, brother. You don't need to really do that anymore. Where are the objectives around mid that you really want to be securing as well, is the other question, right? Like, sure, you need to make sure your mid tier 2 is not getting hit, but you still have a tier 2 tower to prevent that. And when you look at the jungle camps, there's so many of these amazing cliff wards that provide a massive amount of vision that's going to catch you out. So wouldn't you rather be set up closer to where the twin gates are, just in case you need to make a movement to the other side of the map, and there's still like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 camps for you to be able to farm across the top and bottom of the map?
Well, what's outside doing here? Whoa!
Oh,
okay.
Cheeky, cheeky.
Guess Jumi's gonna have to TP. So, that's a little bit of gold expended. Did someone push him down? Nah. Okay. So
who took the wisdom rune? Earth Spirit.
The Earth Spirit and Frisk got the one for Radiant. Okay. Top lane. Frisk is level 6, dude. Oh my lord. And too, Fly, he's gonna show up as well. So we'll take a look at mid now. XM. He's got the Plague if he wants to try and use it onto Butterfly Effect. Let's see if it's going to be enough damage here.
That's a good Gale, too. 3 points Gale.
They're going to go for the deny. Ooh.
It's spreading.
He'll live.
Radiant's bottom tower
Still a lot, though.
That
completely.
That top engagement, though, from Piggy Killer with the level 6 that you mentioned, because of them being able to leave Frisk alone for a little bit, that extra damage coming through from the Bedlam, and with Fly rotating with the meta, was a big kill they're able to find. They now open up the tower as well, so Fly might look to try and park himself up top.
Willow, one of the better heroes to be able to get right on top of the DP as well, right? Like, now it's going to give him a little bit more of an issue, but just Shattered Realm, Bedlam, he's not going to be able to Spirit Siphon you back, and you can really look to make his life a whole lot more challenging on Butterfly Effect. Mid lane, they're setting up for Veno again.
This is not the mid-Veno performance XM was hoping for. He's behind Dark Willow in net worth, and that's probably going to be bumped up even further now off the back of the kill. Frisk is just proving to be too much of an issue for them. And he gets terrorized out as well. Oh, Frisk.
So this is where Veno, like, I expected him to have at least 1 point in the Plague Wards by this point, right? Because that's the thing that stops people from running at you. Is outside, he's not quite level 6 yet, so might be in a little bit of trouble. Just the 1 point in the Nature's Attendants. A Crypt Swarm coming back up. Not enough. But yeah, like the Plague Wards are what stop people from running at you. You know, it's good to have 3 points Venomous Gale. It's a ton of damage, but early game is where you kind of squish on the Venomancer, right? You need that 4-staff. You need that Spirit Vessel, for example. You need just a little bit more HP to be able to survive and lay down a bunch of your spells. Because you're not right-clicking anyone, maybe once, just to be able to get that separate instance of Poison Sting.
Easy way bottom. Oh, Rebel's going to be off the mark from first. They still do get the slow, though. He's slowly crawling back towards the tower. Ava's not going to mess around. Looking to try and drop the Doom just to help secure the kill, even trying to get a little bit of value out of the Meteor Hammer as well along with it. Has he got the sustain, though, to last through? Frisk,
he's got the hammer.
Looking for the Shadow Realm damage. Bramble,
no
it's going to miss it. Oh, TZY will live.
Nicely done. Now, I don't want to say he would have died with a Plague Ward, but that's exactly what would have happened. Even just the vision aspect can't be underrated. That XM hadn't gone up a level since then. He finally puts that point into the Plague Ward, so giving them a little bit of extra vision. You can just toss that onto a high ground as well for all of that extra knowledge that it provides. You've got to be very careful about feeding them away, though, especially when it's level 1, but they wouldn't have gotten this kill onto the Ember Spirit without that Plague Ward, and now they might get another.
Butterfly Effect, just running into the middle. I don't know. Exo popped, he felt like he was strong enough, but with the position from Piggy Killer, they were able to kite him, make sure those Spirit Siphon charges were disjointed pretty early on. And that is a big ultimate expended, and they're going to get no value out of it. Now TZY,
another Plague Ward for vision.
They're going to be able to catch him out as well inside the tree line. So Sand King's still going to be able to turn it back around with a burrow. They'll get the return kill. Got to get out of range of the Meteor, though. And he should tick out. So we're going to be cautious, though, with the tower going down. You can't get those +1s off the back of the respawns now. It's going to take them longer to venture into the middle. And that means Fish King is going to give over a mega killing streak over to the Dark Willow.
Just looking to farm up. Now he's got 2 points Plague Ward. This is where I want to know where XM is going to go with his skill build, right? Because I think 2 points Plague Ward is enough to make sure that you're not just feeding them away, right? It nearly doubles the HP on them. You get a little bit of a damage boost, but it's really just the Poison Sting debuff that you want to be able to dissuade a lot of these pushes. So I really wouldn't hate to see him max out the Poison Sting from here on out. Gets him a ton of value, though. Now that Urn's available, building into the 4-staff as well, so he's got that fluffy hat, providing a little bit more tankiness. And all the while that we're talking about this, Flyfly is just farming again. Completely uncontested, up on this top side of the map. They've taken both side lane tier 1 towers again. So it really feels like Piggy Killer are in agreement with what I've been saying about how important it is to be able to play around side lanes as opposed to mid. The fact that they see TP illusions coming from that top lane might lead Cactus to put some sort of vision up towards this top side, but we'll see. As soon as he does that, he just goes straight back bottom, right? You're always going to have 10 camps to be able to farm if you're just ensured that there's not going to be vision of you. You can just patrol back and forth.
They're going to smoke out a Cactus here. Fish King still doesn't have the Magnetize to work with, though. Pretty high level heroes that they're going to run into. A lot of value if they're going to be able to catch him out. Look at the positioning, though, from Piggy Killer. They're going to stand behind the Plague Ward, utilizing the vision they're able to provide, but it won't matter. Insling on top of XM they go, but the Terrorize might give them a potential to reposition accordingly. Now Frisk is going to turn to Doomy. So the Bane, she'll go down before any escape, and it looks like the Fish King Earth Spirit will also tick out to the damage over time. Beautifully done just with their positioning, making sure they're playing away from the stairs, playing behind the tree line as soon as the smoke pops. And, well, they're going to be able to play accordingly off the back of that vision advantage.
And that's the difference as well from just a few of these little items for XM as well, right? He had the fluffy hat, he had the pig pole for those extra stats. He survived on about 150 HP, and that's basically what a lot of those things provided to him. Of course, we've got to remember, Venom is a universal hero now, so even things like this 4-staff are going to give him a little bit more right-click potential to be able to farm through in these jungles, not needing to rely entirely on the Plague Wards to do it. Looks like he wants to max that one out, again, just to seal off areas of the map. So I don't hate the fact that he's gone into this idea either. Still, though, with the Meteor Hammer, Sand King has been able to take the bottom tier 1. Is he going to be able to get away? Maybe. Just off the mark.
Couple of heroes showing down bottom though for Piggy Killer, so we see XM and Ava are going to have to think twice about how aggressive they're posturing inside Cactus's own jungle. But even bottom, they're still hunting. Fly is got no level in Sunder. And Butterfly Effect, well, he's wanting to turn it back around on them. Exo committed.
He's got a point available. No, he doesn't actually. He's got all 10 committed
First
already.
now, he's going to be able to join through the rift as well. Butterfly Effect's in some trouble. He's going to look to try and play him with the Rewards, but it sets up for the Terrorizer. Now, you'll get no more Siphons out afterwards. So Frisk, I mean, this Dark Willow, it's just classic Frisk stuff, though.
He's almost got more net worth than the Sand King.
I hear an
he is
epi
playing
bottom
an
lane.
amazing
Speaking
game.
of the Sand King, jump in. And with the magic damage, it's plentiful with these two combined together. It's a big
That's a
kill, a
huge
much needed one. Fly, it was top of the net worth, so a lot of gold and experience is going to go to the way of Cactus.
Oh, they're looking to set up on the Wraith King up top, though. He doesn't have a point in the reincarnation just yet. Does have a point saved for it, though, but he'll be able to get away. Frisk, for once, just ends up missing out on one of those skill shots. Looks like they might be considering just sticking around here to be able to go on to Summer, of course. You've got that Shadow Realm to be able to avoid the Wraith Fire Blast, but oh, they even look to set it up a little bit, perhaps with a Nightmare?
Dizzy Wise here, though. They're going to need to cancel the ultimate from Jumi. Frisk is making the attempt, but he's going to be a little bit too late to do so. No way Frisk's going to be able to TP out. Oh. Well, he lives. Doom doesn't, though, but I don't know. It's a big streak that Frisk has regardless, though. Still, there's also a lot of gold on the Doom.
I mean, I think you're still pretty happy, though, with... Was that 4 or 5 heroes rotating towards that mid lane? I think top lane, was that 4? And
4,
all the
yeah.
while, XM, all he needs is levels on this Venomancer. Now he's maxed out the Plague Ward. He's 500 gold away from a Spirit Vessel. Again, BKB, DP's going to have a little bit of an issue with that. She's got the Yule Scepter, sure, to be able to take care of it, but even just popping it onto the Sand King also prevents a little bit of that reinitiation coming from that, like, secondary Blink Dagger. Showing how important it is to have multiple instances of those dispels just going in the Lotus Orb, so feels like you might just look to toss that one onto Butterfly Effect while he's standing on the front lines with the Exorcism. Just one level away from the level 2 Exo to enable a few more of these pushes for Cactus, and he's actually using the Exo to be able to farm a little bit. Don't hate it. And for the Wraith King as well, love the build. He's gone into the Desolator that I really wanted for him to go if he wants to go and pop some of these heroes, but the Blink Dagger as well, it needs to come after that fact. And it looks like the exact progression that I was wanting to see out of Summer. So this is looking a lot better for Cactus. They're still behind because Piggy Killer, they're a great team and they've allowed the TB to farm for quite some time, but they're on the right track, that's for sure.
Just, are they going to be able to fight this early on into the ages now for Piggy Killer? Doesn't seem like they're going to have to commit too heavily with, there is a potential for Fly to pop the meta, but again with that Solar Crest, should be able to kill Frisch pretty fast. They're looking to try and contest it though. They've got a ward on the rift, so they're going to see Fish King straight away.
He's going to need to go him instantly though.
They're going to see
Maybe
Jimmy's
XM's
well, so
gonna
they
be the
know that
higher.
maybe the rest of the boys are starting to come on over. A full team fight might be breaking up, but Frisk in the choke point, flying to terrorize onto 2, but the Bramble locks him into place as well. The Sand King at least is able to get the Burrow Strike away for the moment, might deny it to the neutrals, but it's not going to be the case, as in the end, two members of Cactus are gonna go down, and Piggy Killer, they'll still be rewarded with the Roche.
Yeah, and then Fly just gets the hell out of there. He knows that there's a juicy creep wave down on this bottom side to be able to play around with. I was really expecting for Earth Spirit to kick the Venomancer back in towards the Wraith King, so maybe you're able to get that Wraith Fire Blast off. Again, if he's just able to hit that Veno once, I'm pretty sure Veno dies, even though you might be slowed up and you might get gone on by the remainder of the team. He had the Reincarnation to be able to use, so just a tiny bit of a misplay coming through there from Fish King to not really enable the Wraith King, because again, they had all the Plague Wards set up. He couldn't just walk into them just yet without that Blink Dagger, without that BKB.
He's got that Blink now, though.
Yeah, Enchantress has already bought the Aghanim Shard as well, so of course just having the extra creep to be able to use is going to be nice, just for scouting potential. They use the Centaur Conqueror and the HP regen creep, the Satyr, whatever it's called, to be able to assist with their Roche taking potential.
Top lane.
There's the top side though, good force start by XM. Again, the vision from the Plague Ward.
Summer's Blink is getting cancelled. Still hunting though, it's finally going to be back up, but he runs back into the roll. With the right click damage from Summer, they should be able to blow him up, lacking the armor on XM. Nice Blink reveal. Cactus, they're going to be able to get this top lane shoved out now.
Like that as well from Veno. Previously, if you're holding onto a Vessel charge, they're so precious that you just never want to give them up, but he knows that he's read the patch notes. If you die with a Vessel or an Urn, you just get, and you've got 0 charges, you get given 1, just as a bit of a pity one given over. So he makes sure to toss it out, forces the Earth Spirit to go all the way back towards the base, and at least it puts a little bit less pressure out onto the top side of the map. There's a ballsy TP up here from Fly. Bit away from the rest of his team, but just not connected quite strongly enough. As, actually, it might be TZY in a little bit of trouble.
And it's got Jumi off from the tree line. Nightmare's really not going to do a whole lot, though, to protect him. So in the end,
on the same page.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, shortly are we wanting them to be? Because Butterfly Effect, he's got that second point in Exo, and pretty close to the Lotus Orb as well, completed out of the Death Prophet. So are we wanting Cactus to try and force a big team fight pretty shortly?
I mean, I'm not sure if they had the Fiend's Grip up at that point in time, but if you're going to TP up there to try and go for a kill onto the TB, I think you need to use ultis to be able to do it. And again, that would have just been the Aegis, so maybe they were just in two minds as to how they were going about this. I'm just having a look as well. So it's going to be either the Dark Willow or the Venomancer that get this shard, because the Enchantress already has it. So it actually gets given to the mid laner, and suddenly XM hasn't had such a bad game anymore. He's sitting 4th on net worth right now. Just gives him that latent toxicity, so when these BKBs do start to come out, you've got a little bit more control for it. Even like it's dispelled in any way, right? So your Scepter going to get stunned after the fact. The Lotus Orb going to get stunned after the fact as well. Earth Spirit Ag Shard given over. It ain't bad, you know. Gives you a little bit of that vision around the remnants now.
It's different.
Is it not still part of it? Because you know sometimes it's hidden. Have we tested that it is still part of it, that it gives that little bit of vision, plus you can also grab allies?
I haven't, no. I didn't think it was,
be surprised.
Let me see.
You're doing a quick test, are you?
I was just seeing if it said in the patch notes specifically if it... Yeah, Aghanim Shard upgrade removed. So yeah, okay. No, it doesn't. It's just the pull, which is, I mean, pretty nice to be able to get out of the range of the Terror Blade to reset away from the Doom. Like, any save is always pretty nice for people that are very heavy committal with their long cooldown abilities. And we might see that need to come into play bottom, because they're gearing up for a defense. There's the jump in from Ava.
Yoink him.
Fish King actually wants to look to roll Limp. The Nightmare means it's going to be off the mark. Jumi, though, a defensive Fiend Script, just giving them some distance to escape, some moments of breathing room, but topside now. Fly, well, he's looking to stand strong as well, continuing to want to fight. It is still...
Summer's got
want to go
Blink
in as well. They know he's alone. Radiant are starting to run top, but they're going to be really far away. It is going to take them quite some time for them to be able to connect. They're even scanning as well the Rift just to make sure no one else is looking to try and TP in. So Fly should be able to get the kill. A quick roll all the way at the last second. And now, well, here come the reinforcements. Ava onto Butterfly Effect. TZY is going to try and jump in and play off the back of the epicenter, but the terrorize.
Terrorize.
Frisk again, man. He's always on point with these ultimate usages, but Dire still in fighting shape though, and as a result, Ava, he's going to go down, blink up in a couple of seconds. Ava gets out. Oh, no way, they all
And
live.
it's actually going to be the Earth Spirit dying. All that damage over time by the Veno ends up taking him out with the latent toxicity as well. Just a little bit of that extra damage per second. Oh, the Skadi Courier dies though. For Fly. That won't feel all that well. And Summer's keeping up. I mean, against the Terrorblade, he's using those skeletons to full effect to be able to pick up a lot of this farm around the map. Even slightly ahead on net worth as well, considering he needs to be there for a lot of the farm as opposed to the TB that can just send out his illusions to do a lot of the bidding.
The issue is, though, it's not a very good Wraith King carry-to-carry matchup as the game goes on, which is the big concern.
I think it's just going to be another one of these instances where they ignore the TB, though. They just take out everyone else around him. Veno is priority number one for mine.
So I guess then we need to look at the area of the fights that are taking place. If they're in an area where TB, you can't avoid him, if he's on this high ground and he can just machine gun down, and potentially if you can get all that extra AoE damage and maybe some extra items or abilities to help out with the control so Piggy Killer don't get kited.
Yep. Also saw as well that Willow went and bought the shard. Again, it's a good shard for Frisk, but it also just means that the next Tormentor that goes down is going to be either for Ava or Fly. So a core is going to get a very nice shard for themselves, especially with the Demon Zeal being buffed up recently. I think they're trying to scout out that Terrorblade, knowing that he lost more than 4,000 net worth on that courier previously. They know that he's been pathing around here, but XM wouldn't be too bad of a pick either.
Fly's looking at TP, it's actually the Doom TP into the outpost. Can he cancel the ultimate? He's going to be able to get the Doom off onto Butterfly effect, so there'll be no EXO inside the team fight. So the Death Prophet rendered completely useless. Frisk will still go down, but it looks like it's a team fight where Piggy Killer should be able to come out on top. As Ava, he's already found the +1. Summer, he was trying to find the angle to jump into the middle of the team fight, but took a little bit too long, and it was Piggy Killer that started onto him. And now as a result, Summer, he's in a lot of trouble. BKB completely wasted. And they're going to be able to form up around his respawn as well. Summer, another death. He's been able to do a decent job to find his farm, but that fight is going to put him further behind in a fight where Fly didn't even have Skadi.
Didn't have Skadi, and they got the jump effectively. It took 6-second TP to those outposts, right? And they were still not able to respond effectively enough to it. It just feels like they are lacking a lot of that burst damage. That's why I was wanting this Blink Dagger to come out for the Wraith King, so that he can connect together with the rest of the boys and find that quick burst potential. But you can see here, he had only just TP'd to the tier 2 tower at that point. So by the time he joined the fight, it was over.
Yeah, I'm just watching that replay back, a little bit messy. The kick actually away from Fish King, which kept the XM alive. Then Doom was able to get that big ultimate onto Butterfly effect, so DP had zero impact at all. Well, speaking of the Doom, actually, Eva's going to be able to work with the Greaves and has the backup. Do you really want to continue?
Oh,
okay, EXO
like they
popped.
Oh, and they went for a blind stun. Doesn't hit.
No meta, though.
Fly
is a bit separate from the team.
He's got the Skadi, though, so maybe feels a little bit stronger. Also still holding onto those Vampire Fangs for the vision. And the Night Vision as well. That can't be underestimated. That he's looking to play around for now.
I think he just got the crit stick. Okay, yeah, he's going Daedalus, so yeah. Because I saw he had 4k gold when the Skadi was still complete. I didn't know what he went for, but looks like it was the Crystallis, and now very close to the Daedalus being completed. So, yeah, it's going to be even more of a difficult time to now completely avoid the Terrorblade now that he's just doing even more damage inside the middle of the fights.
I gotta see Summer join these fights off the back of his Blink Dagger and BKB. Like, he is the one that can burst people from 100 to 0 pretty damn quickly off the back of, like, an Earth Spirit setup or a Sand King setup. Hell, even the Bane, just with the Nightmare, right? He just needs to be there to confirm that kill. I wonder if they do want to stick down bottom just for that little bit longer. Taking away that tier 2 tower could be huge, just to prevent some TP responses in case Fly gets caught out farming down on the bottom side. Now, they would need to use the outpost TP to be able to make it happen. And that, of course, takes so much longer.
Then
Like they
TZY,
should
come
be
on,
able to
brother.
take it.
Where's his scepter?
I need it.
What's going on?
Is under attack.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's this just normal utility Sand King build? Give me something, give me some flavor to it. It's just too bland.
I mean, I'm trying to see like what the reason is for him going this, if it's not for the purpose of the scepter to be able to try it out, right? Like Epicenter didn't get buffed since last patch. You gave Caustic Finale application without the Ag Scepter to the Burrow Strike, but that's only on heroes, not on creeps. So it's not like it's enabling you to farm those creeps even faster. To me, the biggest change is that Aghanims, right? That is such a big upgrade to just seal off an area, which is really what Veno wants to be doing. And if you could just turn that around and force people to stand and fight next to a Wraith King that's not going to be too speedy, against a Magnetized that's going to keep people slowed and silenced, against a DP with Exorcism running, that's the big strength, I feel, of this Sand King right now.
Look at that. Blacklight used the Rift down bottom, sent out some of the illusions, so dealt with his bottom wave, and then connected back with the team top. So
Yep.
someone's going to have to
Efficiency.
try and play with this mid lane, and XM will be able to address that as well. So now your lanes are in a pretty good position for Piggy Killer to consider about going high ground off the back of this second Aegis that was given over to the Terrorblade. And
They know they're around, though.
Summer.
He goes in. But again, where's the setup?
Butterfly Effect's not here. So they started without the Death Prophet, and they're going to lose the first snipe before they can get into the middle of the team fight. BKB is going to be activated. Jumit's going to hold the Doom into place. Can they keep him alive long enough to be able to turn it back around? They won't be able to. So no Doom throughout the team fight, but still Fly completely uncontested. It's looking to charge on forward. Another fresh health pool to be able to work with. They're going to respect the epicenter though, looking to back on off and make sure they're not inside the choke point as TZY. No, he's just not doing enough damage, and now they've got the detection. There's no escape for the Sand King. Summer's going to be in for the finishing blow, but how does he get out off the back of that? A great heads-up TP, almost was caught out, though, to the Cursed Crown.
They used everything for that as well, though. I mean, Fly, he's got his Metamorphosis running out, but I wonder if they even choose to go on forward. They know that there's no Epicenter. They know there's no Exorcism. They know Wraith King doesn't have that second life available for the next 50 seconds, considering they made that cooldown so much longer, even maximized level. Seems like they're happy enough to back up. Know that they can just now extend this net worth lead even further off the back of another successful team fight.
Whoa,
I mean, again, I like... What's up?
Sorry, I'm reading the reincarnation. Keep going, sorry.
Yeah, an extra 40 seconds unless you go the Ags. I like the fact that Summer joined in, but it needs to be... I feel like it needs to be after someone else goes in, right? That, to me, Earth Spirit or landing a Magnetize in like a multi-man silence, or SK hitting like a two-man stun on someone that's going to be pulling people away with four staffs and the like. I'm pretty sure in that fight it was actually outside using one of his Wild Wing Rippers to hurricane the Venomancer out to safety. So just even more solid micro coming up from Piggy Killer in the middle of these fights. And then they're going to need to back off a little bit on Cactus until their ultimates are back on cooldown. It's only about 40 seconds or so, so should be able to set up on that high ground so that you're not losing too much. And TZY would love to have the Yule Scepter for himself as well. Even just Wraith King working into... Is that an MKB that he's keeping hidden on the courier? What's... No, Mjolnir. Okay. Just wants extra attack speed.
Who went Mjolnir?
Wraith King.
Ooh, okay. Oh, they're going to be able to take the Dive's Tormentor before they look to walk up the high ground. So Shard's going to be given over to the Doom.
Probably the best one they could have hoped for. Didn't really want it on the TB at this stage. He's got the Metamorphosis back up, and Ava, of course. Any multiples of 3 out there?
All right, they're going to try and... Someone has to start before TZY. Like, you're trying to force them to clump up and you get that big epicenter. But if smoke pops, well, there we go. He's going to try and target down Frisk. It's a lot of the control inside the fight now gone for Piggy Killer. Can they continue on inside the team fight off to the left side? Looks like with the Sand King, he's been doomed up though. A 1-for-1, and now Piggy Killer with the advantage they've got. They can look to charge up the high ground. Fly completely uncontested. Still, he's going forward. He's not protecting his remaining heroes towards the back, but it's not going to matter. Fly's just tearing them up one by one. He's looking for a Sunder target. Not going to be able to find the opportunity just yet, so that's meted down off the back of the respawn. There might be a bit of an opening now for Cactus as they're looking to buy back. Fiend's Grip from afar, and there's no cancel. Fly, a big streak for them to find, but can they turn it back around? They've done a really good job on Piggy Killer to reset towards the triangle, and with an incredible ultimate coming out from XO, and they're just going to tear them apart. Butterfly Effect runs into the meat grinder. Summer's still without reincarnation, and even though you lost Fly, it did not matter in the end. Piggy Killer, so we're going to be cool.
Oh, he gets rooted.
Probably not going to have the damage. He got rooted, like you said. Couldn't get the Burrow strike off. And TZY, I mean, that's going to be a 5-man wipe in the end. A lot of diebacks for them as well, and they're going to call it.
Oh. It was looking like a pretty good fight, but I mean, just in that very last fight alone, Veno shows why he is a very scary hero in